Welcome to the new module. So in this module, we are going to learn about how it is the best to plan your migration switchover strategy, how to switch from using one system to another one. But before we move to that, we are going to learn some terms, the types of the migration, what the types of the migration are, and where it is the best to use them. So it's a little bit of terminology. We'll try to be as short as possible, but let's see how it goes. So basically, let's start with the default migration. So the default migration in the migration wizard, it's a fully automated data transfer process that you can run yourself through migration wizard. So we've gone through how the settings are done in the migration, in the default migration. So basically, everything that you can do on your own is the default migration. So it's designed for everyone with admin access to both source and target platform. Default migration is standardized for over 70 platforms, supported platforms. So some limitation may apply due to the platform architecture differences. However, this limitation can often be bypassed by using customization developed specifically for your migration case. So customizations can modify migration logic, they can include unsupported data types, they can adjust mapping of different formats of the data, preserve some complex relationship between objects. So basically, if you need to change how the default migration works, reach out to help desk migration team, and they will apply the customization to your migration. So if you do not see something happening in the default migration, reach out to the team and they will make that happening. Then the next, data remigration. So data remigration allows you to rerun the full migration from scratch. This is often used when you want to change some field mapping or settings after the initial run. For example, you forgot to create some group, you forgot to map some custom field, whatever. You need to redo the migration, you can use that. But the most often use case is that you want to do like a full test migration to your sandbox before actually switching and doing a live migration. So first you do a full migration to sandbox, check if everything migrates properly, and then you do the live migration to your live instance as the final step. To use the data remigration, the target account, if that's not a sandbox, but like you did the migration to the live instance, want to do that once again. So the target account must be cleared of all previously migrated data in case you want to migrate to the same target. This done to avoid duplicates or data conflicts. Helpdesk migration team will help you with the data clearing. And then the next, delta migration. So this is really important and one of the key types of the migrations that help you to switch to the new system. So if you are using your source help desk account after the first migration, you may need to transfer the new or updated records that were created after the initial run. So that's where the delta migration comes in. Delta migrations transfer only newly created tickets, contacts, and other records, and it remigrates records that were updated since the last full migration. So it's perfect when your support team is still working in your source system, you want to minimize downtime, like make zero downtime, and you want to do a final sync before fully switching system. So this is usually done, the delta migration usually done right before go live, after the final freeze of the old platform. We will talk about the delta migration once again when we will be discussing the migration planning. And the last one is interval migration. So sometimes you might need migrating the data between two active accounts. So this often happens when one company acquires another company and need to merge support system. The support team start using a new help desk before the migration actually happened. And this interval migration is needed when you need to disable the notifications on the target account during the migration, so we can migrate the data only when your team is offline. So basically, when you migrate the data, you need to disable notification. You cannot use your target account. And you basically migrate the data only when your team is offline. And this interval migration allows you to run the migration only during non-business hours, such as nights, weekends, some maintenance windows, and so on. So you need to inform help desk migration team about your preferred schedule when you want to pause and to resume the migration. So your team can work normally during the day, for example, and the migration is paused. Automation notifications enabled, and you need to disable them only for those short windows of time when your team is not working and when the migration is running. So that's basically all for the migration types. And see you in the next video when we will discuss the migration planning.